Thank you for staying tuned. Let's now join Michael in Lagos. He has some reports for us on Nationwide. Michael?
Thank you, Ruth. The role of teachers in nation building cannot be overemphasized, which is a reflection of the saying, no nation can develop above the level of its teachers. In this report, Hingino John Adams takes a look at the teaching profession pre- and post-independence.
Teaching and learning are practices that are as old as mankind. Teaching has evolved over centuries. In Nigeria, though non-formal mode of teaching like storytelling was employed, the coming of British missionaries in 1840s ushered in Western education. During that period, the missionaries were the ones teaching, but later trained indigenes to be professional teachers. Then, anyone who aspired to be a teacher had to undergo professional training of various grades.
Anyone that goes to grade 2 teachers college will find out that such teachers are very, very good, and the passion for teaching was there.
You are going to school in the morning, you have to go with slate. Every three days, you have to charcoal your slate. Without doing done, you are not going to learn in the school. The teacher will cane you.
As time went on, quite a number of indigenes became qualified teachers because it was a highly revered profession. Many years into independence, teaching drifted from what it used to be, as many without relevant training and qualification have found their ways into it.
Rather than the teacher being the king in the classroom, dictating and commanding what happened in the classroom, the system now is pupil focused and pupil centric. You understand? The pupil dictate the tone in the classroom and the teacher goes by it.
To correct the ills in the profession, the federal government in 2019 directed that by January 2020, only qualified persons will be allowed to teach. With policies like this, Nigerians are expecting that the glory of the teaching profession will be restored. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
Now let's talk a bit of security. Retiring officers from the armed forces that recently participated in various entrepreneurial skills acquisition at the Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center Oshodi, Lagos, are expected to redirect their focus and energy to life outside their military backgrounds. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Olonishakin, underscored the importance of vocational training for outgoing military personnel and completion of training in Lagos. Paul Omukago has details.
The Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center is charged with the responsibility of impacting skills relevant to the resettlement needs of retiring military personnel in the country. General Olonishakin, while appreciating the center for its human capital development efforts, charged the new set of graduates to put into meaningful and sustainable use the new skills acquired, describing their successful training at the center as a historic milestone in their military career as it prepares them for their post-service life. The Chief of Defense Staff harped on the need for them to be security conscious and make positive contributions to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Remember, you remain ambassadors of the armed forces, and I urge you to continue to support various security agencies, particularly in area of community intelligence gathering.
The commandant of the center, Air Vice Marshal Kingsley La, says much effort and emphasis was placed on maintaining and improving the physical and social infrastructure of the center.
One of the things that kills retirees is boredom and inactivity. So if they have a vocation that they are doing, they will be able to, keep themselves mentally and physically engaged and hopefully make some money in the process of doing that.
The center graduated non-military personnel who were among 323 graduates. In Lagos, Paul Omukago, NTA News.
Still on security, maritime security has remained a priority in Nigeria due to the essential nature of activities in this critical sector of the nation's economy. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, the Nigerian Navy is strengthening collaboration to ensure effective surveillance, protection of vessels and cargoes, as well as other critical national assets. Dr. Ogunyemi reports on the uniqueness of an ongoing exercise with the United States Navy.
Tackling the issue of piracy in the Gulf of Guinea, as well as combating other threats, remains the focal point of the Nigerian Navy by sustaining the presence of its vessels at sea, as well as ensure regular training of its personnel. This visit by the USS Herschel Woody Williams for a 3-day exercise is to promote maritime security and deter criminal elements.
The exercise that we are going to have will include a rig protection exercise, which is a very critical exercise to our maritime security. As you know, we have several assets in our maritime environment. One of those assets is oil. So the protection of those assets is very critical to our economic well-being as a nation.
On its part, the Nigerian Navy provided 6 vessels to be part of the exercise. The participating ships and its respective companies will, however, not be having any physical contact with one another in line with COVID-19 guidelines. The United States and Nigeria have in the past participated in series of exercises that have led to the arrest and prosecution of several suspects. In Lagos, Dotun Ogunyemi, NTA News.
We are not yet done on Nationwide because Ruth has more stories in Abuja.
You're right, Michael. Thank you. All right, let's continue. The most effective and veritable tool for communication and mobilization of any group of people in Nigeria to promote, engender and enhance peaceful coexistence is the radio. Now, this was the emphasis at a conference which dwelled on the theme Microphone Against Hate and Violence. Justin Bemunye reports.
Every community in Nigeria and beyond the Sahel zone is said to have a craving for integration into the economic activities and development of the nation. This consciousness for inclusivity is what the average Fulbe man, otherwise called the Fulani people, tend to explore by always staying glued to the radio. More interestingly, Nigeria now has a Fulfulde-speaking radio station for the Fulanis, the Kode Radio International, to promote developmental journalism as well as grassroots sensitization. Consequently, stakeholders at this conference, while launching a program series for conflict resolution and dialogue between farmers and herders, see the radio as a low-hanging fruit that can be used significantly to control crime, militancy, terrorism, and promote economic growth.
We need to sensitize the very large population of Fulbes who are not educated, who no longer have cows to take care of, and who are not into farming, to bring them into the full picture, into full circle of activities of Nigerian people and Nigerian economy.
Let's use this station to ensure that we mitigate, conflict situations, so that societies could be talking to each other. Because the problem we have in Nigerian society, we are not talking to each other in a language that one will understand. Because an average Nigerian, I still believe, is still a wonderful person.
The thematic of the drama series is going to be centered around environmental challenges, mostly overpopulation, climate change, and peaceful coexistence among different ethnic groups.
And we will produce a radio drama, the effect of conflict to migration.
The general thinking of participants at this conference is that the media in any society can be effectively utilized in enhancing inclusivity, as it will further promote education and sensitization of the citizens to give them a voice. In Abuja, Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
Looking forward to that. Felicia is waiting in Jos. She has the next set of reports for us. Felicia.
Thank you, Ruth. Welcome to Jos. Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong says the party in the state remains focused and resolute to win the Southern Senatorial by-election of the state. The governor said this at the stakeholders meeting of the party held at the party's state secretariat in Jos. Priscilla Grumnan has the details.
The stakeholders meeting is preparatory to the October 31st, 2020 date fixed by INEC for the election of the Plateau Southern Senatorial District to replace the late Senator Ignatius Longjan.
We are resolute, we are on ground. We want to put our unity and also to solidify our support for our senatorial candidate. And that is why all of us are here to assure the party that all of us have agreed to go and work for the party.
For the Minister of Women Affairs, then Pauline Talen, the party has been yearning for more representation of women in the political sphere and pledged her support for the female candidates.
We've all resolved to come together as a party to support her. And I'm particularly proud and happy because she's a woman and we've been yearning for the representation of women. I thank the governor and all the party leaders for giving us this worthy candidate.
Key players of the party from national to the ward levels attended the meeting with a resolve to continue to work for the unity and progress of the party. From the APC party secretariat in Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
9,009 artisans and transport operators from Plateau State are to benefit from the Artisans and Transport Grant of 75 billion naira survival fund for micro, small and medium enterprises of the federal government. To this end, the Plateau State Microfinance Development Agency is sensitizing these groups for optimal utilization of the fund. Ndayan Andayabagyang has the details.
Artisans and transporters are part of MSMEs that play a critical role in the economy of the country, who also had to deal with the negative impacts of COVID-19. To sustain existing jobs created by these artisans and transporters and create new ones, the federal government has made available 75 billion naira grant to various sectors of the economy. Taking advantage of this, artisans and transporters across the 17 local government areas of Plateau State were sensitized on the survival fund scheme and procedure needed in accessing the grant.
We can use it to repair our vehicles or to buy some parts in the vehicles.
It's really going to help the transport sector, particularly the tricycle organization.
If actually we can access this loan, I think it will go a long way in helping alleviating our suffering.
Each beneficiary under this component is to get 30,000 naira. As such, they are encouraged to take advantage of registration through their association and unions for effective mobilization.
The Plateau State is supposed to provide over over 9,009 beneficiaries for this component of the intervention.
The beneficiaries were called upon to play a complementary role of revamping the economy in the face of COVID-19. In Jos, Ndenyan and the Abagyang, NTA News.
This is nationwide. More reports in Abuja as we rejoin Ruth.
Thank you, Felicia. Governor of Ondo State and All Progressives Congress candidate for the October 10 Ondo governorship election, Rotimi Akeredolu, says the forthcoming election will be mere referendum for his second term in office based on what he calls his even developmental projects across the state. This was while discussing Ondo election campaigns on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria. Lydia Sampson reports.
Saturday, it will be the turn of the Ondo electorate to decide at the ballot who governs them for the next 4 years. The incumbent, who is contesting for a second term on the platform of the APC, Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, believes his first-term scorecard puts him in good stead.
We have done a lot of work in Akure, a lot. Roads, schools, mention it, a lot of work. And people in Akure look at it and say, look, if somebody had come and done this much here in Akure, how do we not even pay him, or how do we show gratitude? So if a number of people in Akure, even though Akure Indians believe that, look, I haven't done this much in Akure, this governor deserves to be returned or deserve a second term.
The governor, however, made a passionate appeal against political thuggery and violence.
The areas of concern might be area of security. And I believe that the police and the other security agencies that are going to be involved in this election are also going to be up to the task. I'm worried about violence here and there. For what purpose? If you are sure of yourself and you are sure that you have the numbers, then there's no need for violence. That's why I've always said to my own supporters, we don't need it.
Two public affairs analysts gave their reading of the build-up to the Ondo governorship election.
The incumbent always have that advantage. The political patronage, he has appointees. Looking at the trajectory of Ondo election and the jinx has been broken, it's possible for a governor to win the second time, and I believe it's going to repeat itself.
I still believe that elections in Nigeria cease to be on party platform. I think it's more individualistic, and that's what Edo demonstrated, that even if you switch political camp, within 2 months you can still win an election irrespective. But if he has performed as he has highlighted, I think the referendum may be positive on him in terms of getting re-elected.
Other candidates are expected to take turns on Good Morning Nigeria to sell their developmental blueprint for Ondo State before the election on Saturday. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
And Port Harcourt will be our last stop, and Dibabari will guide us.
And welcome to Port Harcourt. After months of lockdown occasioned by COVID-19, normal school activities are gradually resuming in public and private schools in Port Harcourt, with compliance with established COVID-19 protocols set by the authorities for the safety of students and their teachers. Kingsley Amaji reports that the first day of resumption was devoted to cleaning of the environment and staff meetings and resumption for their third term academic work.
The first day of school's resumption was devoted to cleaning of the school environment and meetings in some of the schools visited. Peace Atakala and Friday Douglas are among students who are excited coming back to school after about 7 months of lockdown.
I'm very happy because staying at home, I was bored. As I'm coming to school now, I'll gain more knowledge to add to the one I had before.
I'm fully prepared for this term. It's going to be a little bit short, but it's going to be nice.
This morning when I came through the gate, I told the security, whether teacher, student, anybody, visitor, no face mask, don't enter.
Students, they are well sensitized about COVID-19, and we really educated them on what to do.
Officials of the state COVID-19 protocol were at some of the schools visited to ensure compliance with the laid-down protocols. The resumption of schools coincided with this year's World Teachers' Day, amidst appeals from teachers for better teaching and learning environment, as well as improved welfare condition. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Marjorie, NTA News.
A cross-section of Port Harcourt residents say the ban on the activities of FSARS from the roads is in the best interest of the public, given the intimidation and sometimes deaths innocent persons go through in their hands. This comes as they called on IGP to ensure full compliance with the directive. Jenny Bassi reports.
It is a case of one death too many. River State has had its fair share of police brutality. The most recent is the killing of an upstart musician, Daniel Ikegochi, also known as Slicky.
The punishment for murder case is a sentence to death. Now, what that means is that it would require a lot of time, a lot of diligence in investigating this matter.
The directive by the Inspector General of Police banning the Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad FSAS and other Special Tactical Squad and Intelligence Response Team from routine patrols to Port Harcourt residents is a welcome development.
Election bastards is a good thing, so that people can move freely.
Those who are stealing, kidnapping, or robbery anywhere, that is their function, not to just stop on the way and start to embarrass people. And that is what they did in the past, and that is what the IG went to correct. I think it's in the right direction.
They go to the extreme, right, in their activity. So the action of the IG is good.
They have also advised that the police authority should ensure that criminals do not take advantage of the ban to increase their nefarious activities. In Port Harcourt, Jenny Bassi, NTA News.
We are done from here. Nationwide, we continue right after the break. Stay tuned.
Candidates who applied for admission into Ahmadu Bello University NTA TV College degree program in mass communication for 2020-2021 academic session are invited to a post-UTME and direct entry screening exercise scheduled as follows. Date: 15th to 17th October 2020. Venue: NTA TV College premises, Rayfield, Jos. Time: 9 a.m. daily. Screening fee: 2,000 naira, paid through the remitter platform in any commercial bank in favor of NTA TV College, Jos. Eligible candidates are those who indicated NTA TV College as their first choice and scored 180 and above in the 2020 UTME examination. Candidates are expected to come along with the originals of their O-level certificates, JAMB slips, birth certificates, indigenship certificate and proof of payment. Direct entry candidates are expected to come along with their original diploma certificates, A-level results in addition to the other credentials mentioned above. Shortlisted candidates without O-level results will not be cleared by JAMB. Therefore, all candidates are advised to visit any JAMB office or accredited CBT center nearest to them to upload their O-level results. Wearing a face mask is compulsory for admittance into the college premises, in addition to strict observance of other COVID-19 safety protocols. Announcer, Registrar.
Yes, that's the painful effect of what corruption costs you. But what does corruption cost us all? Watch Bad Guys on NTA Network, 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. every Wednesday from the Akin Fadeyi Foundation. Bad Guys. Who are the bad guys? Join us.
NTA News 24. A 24-hour news station brings to you news and happenings 7 days a week.
News at 10 a.m., news update at 11 and 1 p.m.
News desk at 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. and late evening news at 11 p.m.
Follow us on any of our platforms and keep abreast of events and current affairs within and outside our shores.
We are on DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 46.
Star Times channel 101 and Free TV channel 703. Join us.
Thank you very much for staying with us, but that's nationwide for today. Thank you for staying tuned to the network service of the NTA. I'm Ruth Aguele. Enjoy your evening.